श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सरगणवितान् श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्यति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यादि पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे. Okay, 70. भद्र कराया तारे गंगा स्नान कराइलो. That is 70. शेखर आनिया तारे नूतन वस्त्र दिलो. Chandrasekhar then made Sanatana Goswami look like a gentleman. He took him to bathe in the Ganges, and afterwards he brought him a new set of clothes. 70. Amrta-Pravaha Bhashya Bhadra Koraya Kshaur Koraya अर्थात दरवेशी दाढ़ी चूल क्षौर कराया सुवैष्णव बेशी कराया. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Bhadra Koraya or making gentle means having him shaved. That means having his darvish beard and moustache and hair shaved off. In other words, bringing about the appearance of a good Vaishnava. So everywhere there is evidence that Vaishnava has a vesh as an appearance. Purport. The words Bhadra Koraya are significant in this verse. Due to his long hair, moustache and beard, Sanatana Goswami looked like a darvish or hippie. Prabhupada certainly didn't like hippies. No? Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like Sanatana Goswami's hippie features, he immediately asked Chandrasekhar to get him shaved clean. If anyone with long hair or a beard wants to join this Krishna consciousness movement and live with us, he must similarly shave himself clean. The followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu consider long hair objectionable. Sanatana Goswami was saved from a hellish condition, Maharavav, by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Maharavav is a hell wherein animal killers are placed. In this regard, refer to Srimad Bhagavatam 5.26.10 to 12. Maharavav came in 67. Oh, there's no...
Everything depends on the person. Yes, what is that?
Something not done.
Chandrasekhar प्रदत्त नववस्त्र परिधाने सनातनेर असम्मति. Sanatan's refusal to accept new garments given by Chandrasekhar. 71. সেই বস্ত্র সনাতন না কইল অঙ্গীকার শুনিয়া প্রভুর মনে আনন্দই অপার. Chandrasekhar offered a new set of garments to Sanatana Goswami, but Sanatana did not accept them. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard news of this, he became unlimitedly happy.
Why don't you keep this on the...
I look like an astronaut. I don't know. How do I put this?
They put those...
This will go this side. And then, like this. Am I audible? Okay. Well, clear as crystal. Heading. मध्याह्ने तपन मिश्र गृहे प्रभुर भोजन सनातनेर प्रभुभुक्त शेष प्राप्ति. So the Lord, he ate at Tapan Mishra's house in the afternoon. Sanatana Goswami got the remnants of the Lord. Madhyahna Koriya Prabhu गेला भिक्षा करिबारे सनातने लइया गेला तपन मिश्रेर घरे. After bathing at noon, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of Tapan Mishra for lunch. He took Sanatan Goswami with him. 73. Pada prakshalan kori bhikshate posila. Sanatane bhiksha deho mishre re kohila. After washing his feet, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down for lunch. He asked Tapan Mishra to supply Sanatan Goswami lunch also. 74. Mishra kohe Sanataner kichu kritya ache. Tumi bhiksha karo prasad tare divo pache. Tapan Mishra then said, Sanatan has some duty to perform, therefore he cannot accept lunch now. At the conclusion of the meal, I shall supply Sanatan with some remnants. 75. Bhiksha kari Mahaprabhu Vishram korilo. Mishra Prabhur Shesh Patra Sanatane dilo. After eating, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took rest for a while. Tapan Mishra then gave Sanatan Goswami the remnants of food left by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 76. Mishra Sanatane dila Nuton Basan Bastra nahi nila Teho Koilo Nivedan. When Tapan Mishra offered Sanatan Goswami a new cloth, he did not accept it. Instead, he spoke as follows.
His heading also 76.
Heading. Mishra Pradatta Navavastra Puridhane Sanataner Apatti. Sanatan objected to Mishra's giving him a new garment. Heading for 77. Vaishnava Chishta Puratan Basan Grahane Sanataner Ichha. Sanatan desired to accept a garment, an old garment, which was formerly used by a Vaishnava. More Bastra Dite Jodi Tomar Hoy Mon Nija Paridhan Ek Deho Puratan. If you want to give me some cloth according to your desire, please give me an old cloth you have used. Heading. एक खंड वस्त्र के दुई खंड बहिर्वास ओ तो उचित डोर कौपी ने विभाग. He took a cloth, tore it into two, one piece for bahirvas and another for a kopin. 78. तबे मिश्र पुरातन एक धुती दिलो तेहन दुई बहिर्वास kopin korilo. When Tapan Mishra gave Sanatan Goswami a used dhoti, Sanatan immediately tore it into pieces to make two sets of outer cloth and underwear. There is an Amrta-Pravaha here, which is a quote from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, an article from Gaudiya Patrika. Bhajya Jagate অক্ষজ জ্ঞানবাদের জন্য বর্ণচিহ্ন ও আশ্রম চিহ্নের ব্যবস্থা নিতান্ত অপ্রয়োজনীয় নহে. It's a double negative. What is he saying? It is not absolutely needed. External, okay. External identifiable characteristics for varnas and ashramas are not absolutely unneeded for empiricists in the external world. That means materialistic people require to have clothing which express their varna and ashrama. তবে অক্ষজ জ্ঞানবাদী চিহ্নমাত্র দেখিয়া অনেক সময়ে প্রতারিত হন. Then persons with external vision, when they see these external dresses, then most of the time they become cheated. প্রতারিত হইবার ফলে সিন্দুর মেঘ, what is a সিন্দুর মেঘ? সিন্দুর মেঘ, মেঘ মানে কি? না সিন্দুর মেঘ দেখিলেই যে রূপ গবাদি পশু ভীত হয়, সিন্দুর মেঘ মানে কি?
That reddish cloud.
Yes.
দ্য ইভিনিং,
Before the rain.
In the evening.
ওকে ওকে, ইভিনিং টাইম। এটা কি বাংলায় একটা এক্সপ্রেশন, সিন্দুর মেঘ? সেই রূপ ভাবে বৈষ্ণবের বাহ্য চিহ্ন লইয়ায় ব্যতিব্যস্ত হন। হোয়াট ইজ ব্যতিব্যস্ত? ডিস্টার্বড।
Very fearful.
Is that what is here? ব্যতিব্যস্ত মানে agitated, disturbed,
The Hindi translation has used very means fearful.
fearful. Okay. So as a result of being frightened, as soon as, just as cows and other animals, when they see, how do you translate Sindur Megh in Hindi?
Sindur Varnike Megh. The Megh.
Reddish cloud.
Yeah, that is.
Huh?
Yeah.
A reddish cloud, they become frightened. In the same way, by considering the external appearance, he repeatedly uses the word chinna. Chinna means an identifiable dress in this context. A dress of a Vaishnava. He becomes frightened. অন্তর অনুধাবন প্রবৃত্তির অভাবে এই রূপ বিড়ম্বনা অবশ্যম্ভাবী, because of lack of introspection. What is bidambana? I know it is mockery, but what it means here? Okay, from Hindi translation, can someone translate into English?
Vidvan is not able to choose the right to confuse to select one.
Huh? What are bidambana? So there is certainly this agitation due to lack of introspection. গৌড়ীয় বৈষ্ণব পরমহংস হইতে পারেন, তখন তাহার বেশ দেখিয়া কেহ বৈষ্ণব বা অবৈষ্ণব স্থির করিতে পারেন না। A Gaudiya Vaishnava can become a Paramahamsa, and then by seeing his dress, one cannot determine whether he is a Vaishnava or a Vaishnava. Shri Sanatan Goswamir Beshe Varnashramer Chinna Nai, আবার শ্রী প্রবোধানন্দ সরস্বতী গোস্বামীর বেশে পরিধান কাঁসায় বস্ত্র ত্রিদণ্ড দেখা যায়। Correct, no? Shri Sanatan Goswamir Beshe, yes. There were no identifiable characteristics pertaining to the varnas and ashramas in the appearance of Sanatan Goswami. And on the other hand, we find in Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati Goswami's appearance saffron cloth and a tridanda. Shri Paramananda Puri, Ishwar Puri, Prabhutir Beshe, Ekdanda or Kashay Bastro. And in Paramananda Puri's appearance, we see Paramananda Puri, Ishwar Puri, their appearance, we see an Ekdanda and we see saffron cloth. Sutarang, consequently, Tridandi or Ekadandi ba Nirdandi, Shakalai Gaudiya Vaishnava hoite paren. Therefore, Tridandi, Ekadandi, or Zero Dandi, I don't know how to call it, all can become Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Tahara, Karma Tridanda, Jnana Tridanda, Ebang Bhakti Nirdanda প্রভৃতি আশ্রম চিহ্ন পরিত্যাগ করিবার বেশ লইতে পারেন। Then they can accept a cloth that rejects ashrama, the external characteristics of an ashrama, such as a tridanda of the karmis, It should be ekadanda, jnana ekadanda of the jnanis, and being without any danda in bhakti.
What is karma tridanda?
In Varnashama Dharma, it's there. No, Manusamhita itself talks about tridanda. So Varnashama,
Is karma sannyas somebody takes take?
they will take tridanda. Ekadanda, the Madhvaites also take. Of course, Shankarites always take ekadanda.
What is Ekadanda in Madhvaites?
They also take. Of course, their understanding is same as the Tridandis. I think their view is the greater sannyasis are ekadandis. The beginning sannyasis are tridandis. Something like this. Some concept they have. आबार वर्णाश्रम में अवस्थित गौड़ीय वैष्णवेर अभाव नहीं. आबार वर्णाश्रम में अवस्थित गौड़ीय वैष्णवेर अभाव नहीं. And there's no lack of Gaudiya Vaishnavas situated in Varnashrama. Tahader Varna Chinna Ashram Besh Rakhiyavo Tahara Gaudiya Vaishnava Hoite Pare. So while preserving their Varna Chihnas and Ashrama Veshas, the symbols of the Varnas, their dress codes pertaining to the ashramas, they can still become Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Abar Tatta Chihna Dharan Kuriya Varnashrame Avasthit Hoibar O Keho Badha Titiparenna. Nobody can present an obstruction to them having such symbols while being situated in Varnashrama. Kashai Vasan Mahatmya Tridanda Mahatmya Pravritti Shastre Prachur Parimane Ullikhita Ache. In the scriptures, there is abundant evidence for the glory. Okay, there is an abundant number of scriptural statements on the glories of the saffron cloth, the glories of Tridanda. It will be useful to compile all this now. Chinnadara ba বেশ গ্রহণ রীতি দর্শনে গৌড়ীয় বৈষ্ণব নির্দেশ হয় না. By looking at the symbols and appearance, the method of accepting the symbols and appearance, one cannot identify a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Haribhajane Nishkapatatai Vaishnava Parichayar Ekmatra Nidarshan. There's only one identifying characteristic of Vaishnava, and that is non-duplicity in service to Lord Hari. Non-diplomacy, non-duplicity. Nishkapatata refers to both. Somewhere else I remember reading Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, even if you tell lies, or you are not celibate, you engage in various sinful activities, it may take a few hundred lifetimes to get purified. But if you are kaput, if you are duplicitous or diplomatic, then even in hundreds of thousands of lifetimes, he can never ever attain spiritual perfection. I saw in Shat Sandarbha also in one place, I think Bhakti Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami, he refers to a statement of Sanatan Goswami that the preachers are expected to give mercy to those who are non-duplicitous and help them become Vaishnavas.
The preachers themselves are duplicitous.
Then a gone case only. Jahara Karmakanda Vaishnaver Skandhe Chapaiya Giya. What is this Chapaiya Giya?
Putting something on.
Superimposing. वैष्णव के कर्मी व ज्ञानी मात्र जाने. If somebody superimposes karmakanda understanding on Vaishnavas and consider the Vaishnavas to be karmis, just ordinary karmis or jnanis, tahara subichar korite asamartha, they are unfit for deep deliberations. O Vaishnava-aparadhi, and are offenders to Vaishnavas. Kaupen, Bahirvas, Adi, Dekhiya, যাহারা বৈষ্ণবতাকে বিপন্ন করেন, so those who bring about problems for Vaishnavism by externally showing off, by externally presenting themselves with kaupin, bahirvas and so on, এবং ভজনের সন্ধান না রাখিয়া, and without due consideration of the proper principles of devotion service. Navami te, what is this? Alabu bhakshan nisheth pravriti vidhi Vaishnavachar boliya pratipanna korite best. What is this? Alabu bhakshan. So those who are busy to prove that the conduct of Vaishnava is to carry out prescriptions such as on Navami you should not eat loki. তাহারা শ্রীমৎ ভাগবতের বিচার মতে ত্রিধাতুক কুণপ লইয়াই প্রমত্ত. Then according to the consideration of Srimad Bhagavatam, these are people bewildered. What is that verse? The Gokhara. That is, he is referring to that. Kunape Tridhatuke. They fall within, they consider their body to be all in all. সুতরাং বৈষ্ণব বেশ স্থির করিতে গিয়া তাহারা লোক দৃষ্টির অনুমানে বৈষ্ণব চিনিতে অসমর্থ. Consequently, while trying to determine the appearance of a Vaishnava, they become incapable of identifying a Vaishnava while following lokadrishti or worldly vision. Okay. So there are, surely this is coming from Haribhakti Vilas.
What? On
Navami te alavu bhakshan nishe.
It's not there.
Okay, that's okay. Kintu ota Haribhakti Vilas
It is not in Haribhakti Vilas. I searched for that purpose. Some brahmacharis also they force in, not force, means they tell you on Monday is not it. And
No, but this is Navami.
Yeah, it's not.
Not Monday.
It's not there.
No, it is not example. It is there in the calendar. Bible it says that.
Yeah.
Can you?
It is not in Haribhakti Vilas.
So can you find out where this Navami te alavu bhakshan nishe?
He showed.
No, you cannot simply say Shiler Vanshika. You have to find out the original source. It will be somewhere. I'm not denying that it's in Shastra. It's in Shastra.
It is in Shastra, but not in Haribhakti Vilas.
It may be there in Haribhakti.
I searched.
There are two versions of Haribhakti Vilas. It was not there, these things.
Anyway, it has various prohibitions.
Yeah, it has various prohibitions. But it was not
One
that
day
on
you cannot
Monday.
eat begun, one day you cannot eat kochu, one day you cannot eat aloo.
No, but in Karma Shastras, these rules are very much there. Very much there. That's what keeps them busy. Otherwise, they become busy with smartphone, TV, this, that. So therefore, all these prescriptions prohibited. It's good only. It's good. Okay, where are we? That was 78.
আমরা যদি সব বলছে আমি ভক্তি করছি তার সাথে এগুলো পালন করি, তার তাহলে কি ভক্তি
Mix হয়ে যাচ্ছে।
যেরকম ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সুবিধাপুর একটা কোর্ট দেখছিলাম, ওখানে বলছেন যে গ্রহণের পরে স্নান আদি এটা সব কর্মকাণ্ড।
এটা কর্মকাণ্ড, কারেক্ট।
তাহলে কোনো বৈষ্ণব যদি মনে করো গ্রহণ হয়ে গেছে, পূর্ব থেকে তার অভ্যাস ছিল গ্রহণ করলে গৃহে স্নান করতে, এখন গ্রহণ করে স্নান করছে।
না, স্নান করার প্রবলেম নয়, কিন্তু স্নান করতে হবে। ওই স্নান হচ্ছে ভক্তির একটা অঙ্গ, এটা বললে এটা প্রবলেম। যদি আপনি স্নান করতেছেন ওকে, ওটা কি প্রিন্সিপাল অফ ক্লিনলিনেস, ওটা শৌচের ব্যবস্থা, দ্যাট ইজ ওকে। আর গ্রহণের পর কি they'll put গঙ্গা ওয়াটার এভরিওয়্যার, no, these things are normal only, এটা ভালো। এটা
তাহলে মানে ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সুবিধাপুর কথা থেকে উৎসাহী হয়ে মনে করুন দুটোর সময় সূর্য গ্রহণ লাগলো, আমাদের প্রসাদ পাইনি, আমরা সেই সময় কি প্রসাদ পাইলে কোনো অসুবিধা নেই, তার প্রসাদ পাচ্ছি। কোনো একটা ইয়েতে দুটোর সময় সূর্য গ্রহণ হয়েছে, আর তখন আমাদের প্রসাদ টাইম ব্রহ্মচারী কিছু তখন আমরা পেতে পারি, এটা কোনো অসুবিধা নেই।
এরকম করলে সবাই নিন্দা দেবে,
আচ্ছা,
হোল ইন্ডিয়া উইল ক্রিটিসাইজ।
হ্যাঁ,
সবাই বলবে গ্রহণের টাইমে খাচ্ছে, এরা কি বৈষ্ণব, এরা কি সজ্জন, এরা কি হিন্দু, এসব বলবে।
For preaching to this.
Preachers means you have to follow these things, no? In places in South India and all, they'll close the temples. If we keep our temple open still, they will be convinced that we are Christians.
বৃন্দাবনে
They also close.
Therefore, that's why Prabhupada said, follow the local tradition, close the temple. If they are closing, you also close. That's all. It's closing.
আরেকটা যেরকম সে রূপগোস্বামী সনাতন গোস্বামী পুরস্চরণ করেছিল, একজন দেখাচ্ছিল কেউ যদি এই গ্রহণের সময় কনস্ট্যান্ট নাম করতে পারে বা কোনো গায়ত্রী করে, তাহলে ওটা পুরস্চরণের ফল পাবে। আর রূপ সনাতন কিন্তু রূপগোস্বামী সনাতন গোস্বামী প্রভু উনি পুরস্চরণ করেছিলেন ইয়েতে তাহলে কেউ মানে যে রূপ সনাতন করেছিল পুরস্চরণ, তারপরে সেরকম কেউ যদি এই উৎসাহ নিয়ে করে, ওটা কি কর্মকাণ্ড হতে বুঝতে পেরেছি?
পুরস্চরণ বিধি নর্মালি ওটা কর্মকাণ্ডের ভিতরে আছে। এখন কি প্রবলেম এটা?
মানে এই যে তোমাকে চন্দ্রগ্রহণ 1 ঘন্টা হলো, 1 ঘন্টা এই যে দেখাচ্ছিল শাস্ত্র থেকে, এই 1 ঘন্টা যদি কি কনস্ট্যান্ট বিনাম করতে পারে বা কোনো গায়ত্রী মন্ত্র জপ করতে পারে কনস্ট্যান্ট, তাহলে ওটা মানে পুরস্চরণ করার ফলে যে ফল, সেই ফলটা সে লাভ করতে পারবে।
এইগুলো কর্মশাস্ত্রে এরকম হাজার হাজার স্টেটমেন্ট আছে।
তাহলে কোনো বৈষ্ণব মনে করতে পারে যে রূপ সনাতন পুরস্চরণ করার পরে করেছিল, তাহলে আমি এটা করবো, তাহলে আমার সে পুরস্চরণ ফল হবে।
পুরস্কারের ফল নিশ্চয় আসবে, তার বেশি চৈতদর্পণ আমাদের মেগা ফল আসবে। এগুলো ছোট ছোট ফল, পুরস্কারের ফল। এগুলো অনেক স্টেটমেন্ট আছে। হরিভক্তি বিলাসে একটা স্যাম্পল আছে 200 শ্লোক, দ্যাট ইটসেলফ ইজ এ স্যাম্পল অনলি। না, এগুলো করলে আপনার ব্যাধি চলে যাবে, এই হয়ে যাবে, ওই হয়ে যাবে, এরকম অনেক আছে, অনেক আছে।
হরিভক্তি বিলাসে কর্মকাণ্ডটাকে ভক্তিতে ইনক্লুডিং করেছে।
না না না, মানে উনি বলছেন যে ভক্তি করার এত মহাফল আছে, যে কর্মকাণ্ডের ফলগুলো এর অন্তর্গত। আর যারা শুদ্ধ ভক্তির রুচি পায়নি তাদের এরকম কিন্তু শাস্ত্রের উপর ওদের ফুল শ্রদ্ধা থাকে, তো ওরা এই স্টেটমেন্টগুলো দেখে, এই শাস্ত্র বাক্যগুলো দেখে ওরা ডিসাইড করবে আমি নাম করব, আমি এই করব, ওই করব। তো তার জন্য গোপাল ভট্ট গোস্বামী আর সনাতন গোস্বামী এরকম একটা সংগ্রহ উনি দিয়েছেন। কিন্তু কর্মশাস্ত্রে এটা প্রচুর, এটা সব। আপনি ওপেন এনি পুরাণ, যে কোনো পুরাণ আপনি খুলুন, দেখবেন অগ্নি পুরাণ খুলুন, আর ব্রহ্মবৈবর্ত পুরাণ, ব্রহ্মাণ্ড পুরাণ, ব্রহ্মপুরাণ, সব এরকম থাকবে। যাদের যেরকম অধিকার, তাদের ওই বিধি নিষেধ পালন করার ওদের একটা অব্লিগেশন আছে, দে শুড ফলো দ্যাট। এই নয় যে আমরা গর্বিতভাবে আমরা বলি আমরা ভক্ত, আমরা এইগুলো পালন করি না, আমি এটাও পালন করি না, ওটাও পালন করছি না, আমি কোথায় যাচ্ছি কেউ জানে না, আমি ভক্তির বিধিনিষেধও ঠিকভাবে ফলো করছি না, আর কর্মের বিধিনিষেধও আমি নিন্দা করি, তখন আমি কোথায় যাব? এটাও ফলো, আমি এত বড় হয়ে গেছি, আমি ভক্ত হয়েছি, তো এই কর্মকাণ্ডের বিধিনিষেধ আমি পালন করব না। আর ভক্তির যত বিরক্তপূর্ণ যত বিধিনিষেধ আছে ওইগুলো ফলো করবো না। আমি বলবো কলিযুগ, আর মহাপ্রভু এত কৃপালু, নিত্যানন্দ প্রভু হচ্ছেন আমার আশ্রয়, তো এরকম এত ডায়লগ মারবো, আর আমি কোথায় যাব আমিও জানি না। প্রভুপাদ দেননি, সরস্বতী ঠাকুর বললেন, শুদ্ধ বৈষ্ণব এরা করে না, তো এরকম অনেক আমি বলবো। হরিভক্তি বিলাস মেইনলি হচ্ছে ধনী গৃহস্থদের জন্য, যারা গৃহত্যাগী বৈষ্ণব তাদের জন্য মনে হয় 3 বা 4টি শ্লোক আছে, ওদের কর্তব্য 3-4 শ্লোকের মধ্যে শেষ হয়ে যায়। A whole book is for mainly for rich grihasthas, but 3 or 4 shlokas are there for grihatyagis. They are supposed to be absorbed in Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. That's all. So if brahmacharis want to know what Haribhakti Vilas says, then you should just see that last chapter, those 3-4 shlokas, that's all. Last chapter, last yache. Ekantinam Kritya. Well, at least you should follow that. If you don't follow that and you say that I'm transcendental, then we go nowhere, no?
শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু উনি ক্লাসে বলছিলেন যে এই যে মানে তার সাধ্য তর্পণ ইত্যাদি তারা করতে হবে না। ওই যে একটা শ্লোক দিচ্ছিল আমরা যদি মনে বলছে 3-3.5 কোটি নাম, মানে কেউ যদি হিসাব দেখাচ্ছিল পুরা হরিনামটা একটা নাম, সেই অনুযায়ী কেউ যদি 1 লাখ করে নাম করে 64 মালা, তাহলে তার 14 বছর লাগে। আর কেউ যদি 16 মালা করে তাহলে তার 55 বছর লাগে।
তো ও করলে কি হয়?
আমাদের যে ডিউটি থাকে শ্রাদ্ধ ইত্যাদি পূর্বপুরুষদের প্রতি বহু সময়, সেই প্রসঙ্গে উনি বলছিলেন যে কেউ যদি এমনি নাম,
কিন্তু ওই নাম শুদ্ধ নাম হতে হবে, শুদ্ধ নাম হতে হবে।
উনি বলছেন নামাভাসের স্তরে হলে অ্যাটলিস্ট
কি হবে?
না,
কি করে আমি বুঝবো, কি করে আমি বুঝবো আমি ওই স্তরে? তো সেই জন্য ভক্তির সংস্কৃতিতে আছে, লক্ষণগুলো আছে, এটা করলে ভাব ভক্তি এসে যায়। ওকে, তো আমি বুঝতে পারি ফল পেয়েছি, একটুকু ফল পেয়েছি, 50% এসেছে। যারা গৃহস্থ এরা গোস্বামীর ডাইরেকশনস আছে, তো গৃহস্থদের এটা করতে হবে, কি সৎক্রিয়া সার দীপিকা আছে, ওর মধ্যে বিভিন্ন রুলস আছে। বাবা মরে গেলে কি করতে হয়, what do you do when relatives die, there are rules for all this, no? You follow that, that's all. মানে আমাদের প্রকার, আমাদের মেথড একটু আলাদা, কিন্তু সিমিলার অ্যারেঞ্জমেন্টস আছে, তো সেম টাইপ। Okay, let's move on. So that was 78. Then heading Maharashtriya Viprasaha Sanatanir Milan. Sanatan met a Maharashtriya Brahman. 79. Maharashtriya Dije Prabhu Milaila Sanatane Shai Vipratare Koilo Mahanimantrane. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the Maharashtrian Brahmana to Sanatana, the Brahmana immediately invited Sanatan Goswami for full meals. Heading Kashi Bas Kale Sanatan ke Viprayer Swagrihe Pratyaha Nimantran. And he invited, that Vipra invited Sanatan Goswami to his home for the time that he was supposed to be in Kashi. 80. Sanatan tumi jabot Kashite rohiba tabat amar ghare bhiksha je koriba. The Brahman said, my dear Sanatan, as long as you remain at Kashi, please accept lunch at my place. Heading Sanatanir sthul bhikshai asammati madhukari bhikshai ichha. Sanatan Goswami did not want a full-fledged meal, a full arrangement for meal. He had a desire to go for madhukari. 81. Sanatan kohe ami madhukari koribo brahmaner ghare kene ekatra bhiksha lobo. Sanatan replied, I shall practice the process of madhukari. Why should I accept full meals in the house of a brahmana? No comment here. The word madhukari comes from the word madhukar, which refers to bees collecting honey from flower to flower. A madhukari is a saintly person or a mendicant who does not accept a full meal at one house but begs from door to door, taking a little food from each householder's place. In Braj, the tradition is to take from 7 houses, a handful from each. In this way, it does not overeat or give householders unnecessary trouble. A person in the renounced order may beg but not cook. His begging should not be a burden for the householders. The Madhukari process is strictly to be followed by a Babaji, that is one who has attained the Paramahamsa stage. This practice is still current in Vrindavan, and there are many places where alms are offered. Unfortunately, there are many beggars who have come to Vrindavan to accept alms but not follow the principles of Sanatana Goswami. People try to imitate him and lead an idle life by practicing Madhukari. It is almost impossible to strictly follow Sanatana Goswami or Rupa Goswami. It is better to accept food offered to Krishna in the temple than to try to imitate Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami. Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. Bhagavad Gita 6.17. The ideal sannyasi strictly follows the ways practiced by the Goswamis. Heading Sanataner Jukta Vairagye Prabhur Ananda. The Lord was very happy with Sanatana Goswami's Yukta Vairagya. This is Yukta Vairagya for the Paramahamsa Sannyasi. 82. Sanataner Vairagye Prabhur Ananda Yapar. Bhot Kambal Pane Prabhu Chahe Bare Bar. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt unlimited happiness to observe Sanatana Goswami's strict following of the principles of sannyas. However, he repeatedly glanced at the woolen blanket Sanatana Goswami was wearing. Now here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is eating at somebody's house. Sanatana Goswami easily could have, and he made an arrangement for Sanatana also. So Sanatana could have just gone with that. But he wants to follow the principles of Paramahamsa very strictly. Even though Lord Chaitanya is not following this, not this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just doing what ordinary Parivrajaka sannyasis do. But Sanatana Goswami is moving ahead. And Lord Chaitanya is very happy with that. Heading Bhot Kambal Prabhur Anubhipret Janiya Chinna Kantha Grahan. So when Sanatana Goswami realized that the Lord is not desirous of him having this woolen blanket, then he trades it for a torn quilt. 83. Sanatan Janila ei Prabhure na bhai. Bhot tag koribare chintila upay. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was repeatedly glancing at this valuable woolen blanket, Sanatana Goswami could understand that the Lord did not approve of it. He then began to consider a way to give it up. 84. Ito chinti gela gongai motyahnu kurite. Ek gaudiya kantha dhoya diyache shukaite. Thinking in this way, Sanatana went to the bank of the Ganges to bathe. While there, he saw that a mendicant from Bengal had washed his quilt and spread it out to dry. 85. Tare kohe ore bhai koro bakare ei bhod loya ei kantha dekho more. Sanatana Goswami then told the Bengali mendicant, my dear brother, please do me a favor, trade me your quilt for this woolen blanket. 86. 85 I have Anubhashya.
86 says.
That's 86. 86. Sei kohe rahasya karo pramanik hoya bahumulya bhot deba keno kantha loya. Is it rahasya? Yes, it is rahasya. The mendicant replied, Sir, you are a respectable gentleman. Why are you joking with me? Why would you trade your valuable blanket for my torn quilt? 87. Okay, 86. Anubhashya. Pramanik. Vichar Adarsha Charitra. Pundit. What is Vichar Adarsha Charitra? A person who seems to be thoughtful and ideal. How does Prabhupada translate Pramanik? although being a man of authority, being a respectable gentleman, a learned person. So learned persons are supposed to have certain types of conduct. Previously, no? Because in today's world, there's no connection between what you learn and what you do. Learned people also go to the pubs. Everybody does everything. Complete upside down craziness. 88. Eto boli kantha loilo. No, 87. Tehon kohe rahasya nahe kohi satto bani. Bhot loho tumi dekho more kantha khani. Sanatan said, I'm not joking, I'm speaking the truth. Kindly take this blanket in exchange for your torn quilt. 88. Eto boli kantha loilo. Bhot tare diya. Goshair thai aila kantha gole diya. Saying this, Sanatan Goswami exchanged the blanket for the quilt. He then returned to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu with the quilt on his shoulder. 18. Heading. Prabhur bhot kambal sambandhe jigyasa, no?
Jiggyas could also be.
Jigyasa is also there. Sanatane sob ghatana varnon. So the Lord inquired about the woolen blanket, and Sanatan explained what had happened, described what had happened. 89. Prabhu kohe, tumar bhot kambal kotha gelo, Prabhu pade sob kotha gosai kohilo. When Sanatan Goswami returned, the Lord asked, where is your woolen blanket? Sanatan Goswami then narrated the whole story to the Lord. Prabhu Krishna Kripa Mahatmya Varnan. The Lord described the glory of Krishna's mercy upon him. 90 to 91. Prabhu kohe, iha ami kuriyachi bichar, bishaye rog khondailo Krishna je tomar, shekene rakhibe tomar shesh bishay bhog, rog khondi sadvaidya na rakhe shesh rog. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, I have already deliberately considered this matter. Since Lord Krishna is very merciful, he has nullified your attachment for material things. Why should Krishna allow you to maintain a last bit of material attachment? After vanquishing a disease, a good physician does not allow any of the disease to remain. See, this is why Gopi Brahman Prabhu said, Chaitanya Charitamrita is the highest. The amount of Vairagya Vidya Bhakti here expected in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is great material attachment. To have nothing, to have given up 30,000 gold coins, to have walked in barefoot, and by obligation, the brother-in-law puts one woolen blanket. That is great, and accepting that is a great material attachment. Paramahansa Sannyasi mane etai.
কিন্তু মহাপ্রভু কিছু পার্শ্ব ছিল গৃহস্থ ওরা পরমহংস কিন্তু ওদের ছিল বিষয় কিন্তু শিবানন্দ সেন ধনী কিন্তু পরমহংস মানে তিনি কিন্তু ত্যাগ করেনি কিন্তু শুদ্ধ
Yes.
সেরকম আরো কিছু মহাপ্রভু পার্শ্ব ছিল
Yes, correct. তো
তাহলে কেউ বলতে পারে যে আমি গৃহে আছি মানে ওইরকম
কিন্তু আমি গৃহস্থ পরমাংশ।
হ্যাঁ গৃহস্থ পরমহংস
কিন্তু যখন মহাপ্রভু যখন ওরা দেখুন এরকম একটা রামানন্দ রায় আমাদের প্রভুপাদ ভক্তিবেদান্ত স্বামী প্রভুপাদ উনি ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী ঠাকুরকে এটা জিজ্ঞাসা করলেন রামানন্দ রায় উনিও পরমহংস, সনাতন গোস্বামী ইনিও পরমহংস, কিন্তু সনাতন গোস্বামীর কিচ্ছু নাই। আর রামানন্দ রায় উনি ভালোভাবে ড্রেস করে, উনি খুব ধনী গৃহস্থ। আর মহাপ্রভু দুইজনকে স্বীকার করেছেন। এর রহস্যটা কি? তো ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী ঠাকুর বললেন, অফকোর্স ওই টাইমে একটা কালচার ছিল ভারতীয়দের মধ্যে যে যখন একজন নারী, বিবাহিতা নারী, ওনার স্বামী ঘরে থাকে, মানে ইন স্টেশনে আছেন, তো তিনি ভালো করে উনি ড্রেস করবেন, অর্নামেন্টস এগুলো সব দিয়ে ভালোভাবে থাকবেন। যখন স্বামী কোনো দেশে কাজের জন্য যখন চলে যান, উনি কিছু আবরণ কিছু দেবেন না। তো উনি বললেন ওই রকম যদি এইসব থাকার প্রয়োজন মহাপ্রভুর মিশনের জন্য, তখন এই ভক্ত এইসব গ্রহণ করবে, কিন্তু যদি এটা দরকার পড়বে না তো এইসব পরিত্যাগ করে দেবে। যেমন ওই নারীর ওই আভরণের উপর একটা স্বতন্ত্র আসক্তি কিছু নাই, তো স্বামীর জন্য এইসব রাখে। তো এরকম এই ভক্তদের এই ঐশ্বর্যের উপর স্বতন্ত্র আসক্তি কিছু নয়। তো যখন মহাপ্রভুর অন্তর্ধান হয়ে গেল, তখন রামানন্দ রায়ের অন্তর্ধানও হয়ে গেল। ওটা আছে, আমরা দেখতে পারি। আফটার মহাপ্রভু পাস্ট অ্যাওয়ে, রামানন্দ রায় অলসো পাস্ট অ্যাওয়ে। তো এই থেকে বোঝা যায় যে ওনার স্বতন্ত্র কিছু আসক্তি কিছু ছিল না, প্যারালাল কিছু নাই, একই ভক্তি, ভক্তি অনলি ফর চৈতন্য মহাপ্রভু। তো যদি আমি সেরকম গৃহস্থ পরমাংশ হয়, তো then you can test me like this, that for Krishna's mission can I give up or not? মহাপ্রভু কেন এটা করলেন, সনাতন গোস্বামীর সাথে এরকম ব্যবহার করলেন? বিকজ হি ওয়ান্টেড টু শো দিস ইজ হাউ ইউ লিভ। এই হচ্ছে স্ট্যান্ডার্ড, এটা পরমহংস স্ট্যান্ডার্ড। যদি কেউ বলে আই এম অলসো সারেন্ডারিং টু কৃষ্ণা ফুললি, মানে এটা দিস ইজ হোয়াট ইজ এক্সপেক্টেড। তো ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী ঠাকুর এটা চেয়েছিলেন, গৃহত্যাগী মানে এরকম জীবনযাপন করবে। কিন্তু বর্ণাশ্রম ধর্মের ভেতরে যদি আপনি গৃহত্যাগী হন, দেন বর্ণাশ্রম ধর্মের বিধিনিষেধ পালন করতে হবে। তো মঠবাসী মানে ব্রহ্মচারী বা বানপ্রস্থ বা সন্ন্যাসী, ওদের জন্য সেপারেট রুলস আছে, বিভিন্ন বিধিনিষেধ আছে। ওটা উনি ডিটেইল লিস্ট তালিকা উনি দিয়েছেন ওদের জন্য। সো দ্যাট উই শুড কাম টু দ্যাট স্ট্যান্ডার্ড। একটু ধামে থাকার, দেন উই শুড ফলো দিস থিংস,
যারা বর্ণাশ্রম ভিতরে গৃহত্যাগী নয়, মানে যারা বহু সময় আমরা বৃন্দাবন দেখি শত শত, ওরা বর্ণাশ্রম ভিতরে না, ওরা পরমহংসের মতো ড্রেস করেছে, কিন্তু রূপ সনাতনের মতো এইরকম বহুত আছে আচরণ করছে। ওদের তাহলে গতিটা কোন দিকে?
শ্রুতি স্মৃতি পুরাণাদি পঞ্চরাত্র বিধি বিনা একান্তিকে হরের ভক্তির উৎপাত এব কল্পতে। দ্যাট ইজ দ্য প্রবলেম। যাদের যেরকম অধিকার সেই রকম বিধিনিষেধ পালন করতে হবে। ওকে, লেটস মুভ অন। হেডিং আচার ও প্রচারে পরস্পর সামঞ্জস্য রাখিবার উপদেশ। He then instructed him to maintain harmony between achar and prachar. 92. তিন মুদ্রার ভোট গায়ে মাধু করি গ্রাস, ধর্মহানি হয় লোক করে উপহাস। It is contradictory to practice madhukari and at the same time wear a valuable blanket. One loses his spiritual strength by doing this, and one will also become an object of jokes. Okay, let me read teachings of Lord Caitanya. Huh? That will catch us, no? Therefore I'm saying have a button phone. You'll save yourself. Dharma hani hobe na, log upahas korbe na. So if people ask, you see, made in India. Made in India. It can be made outside India also, but if it's a button phone, you are safe. Otherwise, they'll catch you. Same thing, they'll catch you. They'll take one photo, they'll make another video while you're distributing, they'll put it everywhere viral. Dekho, iska ki korche. They'll say all these things. So we should follow. Why we require all this now?
Page 49, second last page.
No, 49 last page, last para is over. Lord Caitanya then introduced Chandrasekhar and Tapan Mishra to Sanatana, and Tapan Mishra pleasantly invited Sanatana to dine with him. The Lord requested Chandrasekhar to take Sanatan to a barber and make him gentle, for Sanatan had grown a long beard which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like. He not only asked Chandrasekhar to provide Sanatan with a bath and clean shave, but with a change of clothes as well. After bathing, Chandrasekhar gave him some good cloth. When Lord Chaitanya was informed that Sanatan did not accept new garments, but later accepted only some used garments from Tapan Mishra, he was very glad. The Lord went to Tapan Mishra's house for lunch and asked him to keep food for Sanatan. Tapan Mishra did not offer Sanatan food immediately, however, but after the Lord finished his eating, there were some remnants of his foodstuff, and that was offered to Sanatan while the Lord took his rest. After resting, Lord Chaitanya introduced one Maharashtriya Brahmin, a devotee of his, to Sanatan, and that Maharashtriya Brahmin invited Sanatan to accept lunch daily at his place as long as he remained in Banaras. As long as I remain in Banaras, I will beg from door to door, Sanatan said. But the Lord will be so good as to accept this invitation for daily lunch at your house. Lord Chaitanya was very much pleased by this behavior of Sanatan, but he noticed the valuable blanket that was given to him by his brother-in-law while en route to Benares. Although Lord Chaitanya was overlooking the blanket, Sanatan understood that he did not approve of such a valuable garment on his body, and therefore Sanatan decided to get rid of it. See, there is that basic rule, no? Bhalo na khaibe, bhalo na poribe. He immediately went to the bank of the Ganges, and there he saw a mendicant washing an old quilt. When Sanatan asked him to trade the old quilt for the valuable blanket, the poor mendicant thought that Sanatan was joking with him. How is this? The mendicant upbraided him. Upbraided him means chastised him. You appear to be a very nice gentleman, but you are mocking me in this unmannerly way. I am not joking with you, Sanatan informed him. I am very serious. Will you kindly exchange the torn quilt for this blanket? Finally, the mendicant exchanged his torn quilt for the blanket, and Sanatan returned to the Lord. Where is your valuable blanket? In idiomatic Bengali, we say things like this. Where did your woolen blanket go? Tomar bhot kambal kotha gela. Where did it go? Where did it go means what happened to it? The Lord immediately inquired. Sanatan informed him about the exchange, and the Lord loved him for this and thanked him. You are intelligent enough, and you have now exhausted all your attraction for material wealth. In other words, the Lord accepts a person for devotion service only when he is completely free from all materialistic possessions. The Lord then told Sanatan, it would not look good for you to be a mendicant and beg from door to door with such a valuable blanket on your body. It is contradictory, and people would look on it with abhorrence.
So this keeping the culture of beard and long hair, when somebody come, it's not very long.
We're keeping it.
Keeping of long hair.
I think that is just part of Vedic culture. Sadhus are not supposed to comb their hair and all this. No? It looks like this is some kind of fakir version of. I don't know how Muslims keep beard, but for some reason it's repeatedly connected with Darwish. Huh?
They don't keep mustache.
No, but here mustache is not referred to here.
No, fakir keeps. For the Muslim fakir, those who go beg everywhere, they keep. Maulana means those who are mosque head of, they do not keep the mustache.
But the hairstyle of Hindu sadhu is different from the hairstyle of Darwish. No? Looks like.
I've seen them begging on a grain something. No, Muslim है ना, उसी को दरवेश कहते.
Usually sages would not shave now. They had long beard.
They will not comb, not shave.
They will not comb, they will not shave.
As it is just.
Prabhupada did not want, because he did not want the devotees to develop hippie tendencies once again. Therefore, he was very insistent. And
it looks like for the Vaishnavas also, at least for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, as he is telling, he had the same head, same mustache, beard, everything.
At least he said that for Sanatan Goswami.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada is emphasizing that his followers should follow this. I will not say that having mustache beard for Paramahamsas is a problem. But generally, they had no desire to attract others and all these things. That's all. It was not only Braj. You look whole India. You go to Ayodhya, go to Kashi itself. There are plenty of people. You look at the yogis in Himalayas. Everyone has got. They all keep now. In the Gaudiya Mutt, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had a rule: once a month at least one should shave. Sometimes we are criticized because we shave more often. No, these people criticize us sometimes.
Sanatana Goswami says in 15 days, Amavasya and Purnima, one can say.
Where Haribhakti Vilas? Oh, send that reference. Send that reference. Very useful. Gopi Prabhu also told me. He said at least once every fortnight one should shave. So if this reference is there, it's very useful.
Prabhupada also says at least once
Once a fortnight. 15 days. Okay. Then heading. Where am I? 292. 92 is done.
93.
93. Sanataner Prabhu Kripa Mahatmya Prashangsha. Sanatana Goswami praised the greatness of the Lord's mercy. 93. Gosai kohe, je khandilo ku bishay ho, tar ichhai gelo mor shesh bishay rog. Sanatana Goswami replied, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has saved me from the sinful life of material existence. By his desire, my last piece of material attraction is now gone. Here he is referring to Caitanya Mahaprabhu as that Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's a double meaning. 94.
93 Anubhashya.
93 has got an Anubhashya. Ku Vishay Bho, Papa Vishay Seva. Ku Vishay Bho. What is the original? Ku Vishay Bho, enjoyment of sinful material life. Yes. To enjoy the sense objects in a sinful manner. Actually, for a sannyasi, almost all kinds of sense enjoyment is sinful now. No? Sannyasi cannot even choose what kind of food stuff to eat. That is also sinful for him. You get minus points simply for asking, give me this food. That is very dangerous now. Okay. Heading. Sanatan gave Prabhu Shakti Sanchar. The Lord empowered Sanatana Goswami. 94. Prasanna hoiya Prabhu tare kripa koilo. Tar kripaye prashna korite tar Shakti dilo. Being pleased with Sanatana Goswami, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed his causeless mercy upon him. By the Lord's mercy, Sanatana Goswami received the spiritual strength to inquire from him. So even to inquire, you need to be empowered. See? Heading. Purve Prabhur Shakti Bole. Rayer. Prabhu Prashner. Uttardan Samarthya. Previously, by the empowerment of the Lord, Ramananda Rai was capable of giving answers to questions posed by the Lord. Tadrup, heading for 96. 95, 96 are together. So I'll read the heading for 96. Tadrup, Prabhur Shakti Sanchar Bole, Sanataner Prashna are Swayam Prabhur Uttar Pradan. In the same way, Sanatan's questions were on the basis of the Lord's empowerment upon him. And the Lord himself gave answers. 95 to 96. Purbe Joiche Rai Pashe Prabhu Prashna Koila Tar Shaktiye Ramananda Tar Uttar Dila. Iha Prabhu Shaktiye Prashna Kore Sanatan Apane Mahaprabhu Kore Tattva Nirupan. Formerly, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had asked Ramananda Rai spiritual questions, and by the Lord's causeless mercy, Ramananda Rai could properly reply. Now, by the Lord's mercy, Sanatana Goswami questioned the Lord, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally supplied the truth. Heading: सनातन के स्वयं प्रभु संबंधाभिधेय प्रयोजन तत्व कीर्तन ग्रंथकार वाक्य. Statement by the author. It's a Sanskrit statement, but it's by the author himself, Krishnadas Kaviraj. He describes. Okay, so the Lord described the tattvas of Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan to Sanatana Goswami personally. He himself gave this instruction. 97. Krishna Swarupa Madhurya Shvarya Bhakti Rasashrayam Tattvam Sanatana Yesha Kripayopa Dideshasah. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, personally told Sanatana Goswami about Lord Krishna's real identity. He also told him about the Lord's conjugal love, his personal opulence, and the mellows of devotional service. All these truths were explained to Sanatana Goswami by the Lord himself out of his causeless mercy. 97. Amrta-Pravaha Bhashya. Shri Krishner Swarup Madhurja, Swarup Aishwarja, O Bhakti Rasashray Roop Tattva, Bhagwan Kripa Purvak Sanatan ke Upadesh Korilen. Out of mercy, Bhagavan instructed Sanatan regarding the truths pertaining to Sri Krishna's, the sweetness of Sri Krishna's personality, the opulence of Sri Krishna's personality, as well as the truths pertaining to Bhakti Rasa. Anubhashya. Sa Ishaha Mahaprabhu Kripaya Atula Karunaya Sanatanaya Sanatana Goswami ne Krishna Swarupa Madhurya Ishwarya Bhakti Rasashrayam Krishnasya Swarupam Sarveshwareshwareshwara Sarveshwareshwareshwara Sachidananda Ghanatmaka Kishora Shekhara Yashodananda Natvam Madhuryam Asamurdhva Taya Sarva Manoharam Swabhavika Rupa Guna Leeladi Saushthavam Aishwaryam Asamurdhva Ananta Swabhavika Prabhutvam Bhakti Rasascha Tesham Ashrayam Dashamam Lakshyam Ashitashraya Vigraham Iti Vachana Uddishtam Vastu Tat Eva Tattvam Advaya Jnanam Upadidesha Udishtavan. That Lord Mahaprabhu, he instructed about the absolute truth. The absolute truth, the non-dual, the absolute truth is Advaya Jnana or non-dual knowledge, that is Lord Sri Krishna, who is the shelter of various features of Lord Krishna. So first of all, the Lord explained about Krishna's nature. Krishna's nature refers to him being the Lord of the Lords of the Lords of everyone. About him being concentrated Sachidananda, of him being the crest jewel of the youthful personalities, of him being the dearmost son, blissful son of the pleasing son of Yashoda. He also spoke about Lord Sri Krishna's Madhurya, which refers to his asamurdha. How do you say asamurdha in English? Unparalleled, unrivaled, all charming nature, the beauty and sweetness of his natural forms, qualities, pastimes, and so on. He spoke about Lord Krishna's Aishwarya, his unparalleled and natural lordship to an endless degree. And he spoke to him about the rasas pertaining to Krishna Bhakti. Krishna himself is the shelter of all of this, as noted in Bhavarta Deepika in the 10th canto. The Lord Sri Krishna is the 10th subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. He is the shelter of all the other shelters. He is a very personified form of that. Okay. Then we come to 98. Heading Sanatan Shiksha Varnan Arambha. This is the beginning of the description of the Lord's teachings to Sanatan Goswami, known as Sanatan Shiksha. So Daine Pranipat Pariprashna Seva Purvak Loka Shikshartha Nityasiddha Sanataner Baddha Jeev Abhina Ye Shishyavat Kirtan Vigraha Jagat Guru Prabhur Samipe Tattva Jigyasa. With humility, along with Pranipata, Pariprashna and Seva. This is with a reference to the Gita verse, that when the disciple submits to the Guru, then he should humbly submit, he should inquire, he should engage in various services. So after doing all of this, in order to teach the world the eternally perfect Sanatan Goswami, while pretending to be a conditioned soul, like a disciple, he inquired about various truths from the Lord, who is the very personification of Kirtanam and who is the Jagat Guru. 98. Tobe Sanatan Prabhur Charane Dhurya Daina Binoti Kore Dante Trina Loya. Putting a straw, this is not a complete sentence in Bengali. Putting a straw in his mouth and bowing down, Sanatan Goswami clasped the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and humbly spoke as follows. 99. Nicha Jati, Nicha Sangi, Patitai Adham, Kubishai Kupe Puri, Goaino Janam. Sanatan Goswami said, I was born in a low family and my associates are all low class men. I myself am fallen and am the lowest of men. Indeed, I have passed my whole life fallen in the well of sinful materialism. Purport 99. Actually, Sri Sanatan Goswami belonged to a Brahmin family because he belonged to the Saraswata division of the Brahmanas and was well cultured and well educated. Saraswata Brahmanas are considered one of the higher groups of Brahmins. Somehow or other, he accepted a ministership in the Muslim government. Therefore, he had to associate with meat eaters, drunkards, and gross materialists. Sanatan Goswami considered himself fallen, for in the association of such men, he also fell victim to material enjoyment. Having passed his life in that way, he considered that he had wasted his valuable time. This statement about how one can become fallen in this material world is made by the greatest authority in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Actually, Prabhupada said when you look at a magazine like Time magazine and you look at the photo of someone, then that person's contamination comes to you. So nowadays we don't look at photos, we look at actual movies in smartphones. We look at movies, we look at all kinds of things now. So we are getting something comes everywhere. Just by looking. So dangerous it is. There is one in Vishnu Purana, that thing comes now. Jiva Goswami gives one reference, Bhakti Sandarbha only. There was one king, when that king was a young boy before, when he was in Gurukul, he knew someone. Okay, and then later he became a king. Then he was married and everything. He was doing everything very carefully, properly. He was following dharma. He was worshipping Vishnu, everything. And then one day he met this old man. This old man did not accept Vedic authority. But this king, no, because he knew that person, he wanted to go and speak to him nicely and just be nice with him. Just one conversation. And because of that, after the king died, he had to take 7 birds, each as a particular animal. But his wife remembered, and she always went to each, he was born as some bird or whatever, then he would catch, different ones. And every time she would try to remind, you're a king, you're that one. I told you don't go and speak to him, why did you go speak to him? See what has happened. So many lifetimes. So these are all very dangerous things.
তাহলে যারা খুব প্রচারে আছে তো বহুত মুশকিল আছে।
না না, শ্রদ্ধা দিয়ে অ্যাসোসিয়েশন করলে শেষ হয়। আমরা যাই in order to for preaching purpose, না ওটা আলাদা। But if we think that I can take shiksha from them, then gone, finished. No shiksha from anyone. We take shiksha only from Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
But he also went just to inquire how is he,
Why this unnecessary pleasantry? There's no need. And that too, he does not accept Vedic authority. Why you have to try to be a nice gentleman with all this third class, fourth class characters? Let him think that you are arrogant, whatever. Anyway, he's going to hell. He's going to drag you to hell also. Actually, the whole world, see, if he is going to go in order to make them convince him, but sometimes it's very difficult. No, elderly people, they will not listen to you. Elderly people don't listen, young people don't listen, brothers don't listen, sisters don't listen. Nobody listens actually. So in family life, nobody listens. So if you want to become a serious preacher, then you have to become a great tyagi, because then you don't belong to anyone. No? Then you can preach. Actually, the whole world is presently fallen into material existence. Everyone is a meat eater, drunkard, woman hunter, gambler, and what not. Wow. People are enjoying material life by committing the 4 basic sins. Although they are fallen, if they simply submit themselves at the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, they will be saved from sinful reactions. 100. Apnar hitahit kichui na jani gramma vyavahare pandit tai shakti mani. I do not know what is beneficial for me or what is detrimental. Nonetheless, in ordinary dealings, people consider me a learned scholar, and I am also thinking of myself as such. 101.
Anubhashya 100.
What? Yes, gramya vyavahar. Stri purushagata laukik vyavahar. Gramya vyavahar. How does Prabhupada explain it? In ordinary dealings. In ordinary dealings. In ordinary dealings refers to worldly dealings between men and women. This gramya sukha is very commonly used in Bhagavatam. There are some scholars who translate it as vulgar pleasures. A correct translation actually. Low class, vulgar. Previously, the whole idea was that if you are more civilized means more restricted. Voluntarily restricted. 101. Kripa kori jodi more kuryacho uddhar apana kripate koho kartabya amar. Out of your causeless mercy, you have delivered me from the materialistic path. Now, by the same causeless mercy, please tell me what my duty is. Heading: Jiver Swarup o bandhan janita dukkher karan jigyasa. It then inquires about the reason for the sufferings that are born out of. He inquires about the nature of the jiva, the swarup of the jiva, as well as the reason for his sufferings due to his conditioning. 102. Ke ami Kene amai jare tapatroy. Iha nahi jani kemone hito hoy. Who am I? Why do the threefold miseries always give me trouble? If I do not know this, how can I be benefited? Purport: the threefold material miseries are miseries arising from the body and the mind, miseries arising from dealings with other living entities, and miseries arising from natural disturbances. Sometimes we suffer Sometimes we suffer bodily. That means in the body, with the body, when we are attacked by a fever, and sometimes we suffer mentally when a close relative dies. Other living entities also cause us misery. There are living entities born of the human embryo, of eggs, perspiration, and vegetation. Miserable conditions brought about by natural catastrophes are controlled by the higher demigods. There may be severe cold or thunderbolts, or a person may be haunted by ghosts. These threefold miseries are always before us, and they entrap us in a dangerous situation. Padam padam yat vipadam. There is danger in every step of life. 103 साध्य साधन तत्व पूछिते ना जाने कृपा करी सब तत्व कहो तो आपने. Actually, I do not know how to inquire about the goal of life and the process for obtaining it. Being merciful upon me, please explain all these truths.
Amrta-Pravaha and
So this is what he is asking. He is asked about Ke Ami, that is Jiver Swarup. Kene Amai Jare Tapatroy. Why are these threefold miseries attacking me? That is about the reason for the sufferings due to the conditionings of the jiva. He is also asking about sadhya and sadhan. Okay, Amrta-Pravaha, anything comes? 102 to 103.
and Anubhashya.
102 has got Anubhashya. I missed it. Does it have 103 also? No. We should publish an edition of Chaitanya Charitamrita sequentially, Solves this whole. Okay, 102, 103. Sanatan Jigyasa Kurilen. Did you arrange a computer for him?
Okay, please. Later we will discuss. He's just sleeping in his room but does not use his computer.
What?
He can use his computer.
After Chaitanya Bhagavat, you'll work on Chaitanya Charitamrita. Do proper work. Some work has been done. Actually, that he just needs to proofread. For whole CC, apparently it's done. Sanatan Jigyasa Korilen. Ami ke আধ্যাত্মিক আধিভৌতিক আধিদৈবিক এই তাপত্রয়ে আমাকে কেন জর্জরিত করিতেছে? What is জর্জরিত? Afflicting me. What is the Hindi version?
It's burning.
Why is it burning me? এবং আমার কি রূপে হিত হয়? How can there be good for me? সাধ্য সাধন তত্ত্ব আমি জিজ্ঞাসা করিতে অক্ষম. I am incapable of inquiring about the truths pertaining to sadhya and sadhana. আপনি কৃপা করিয়া আমার জ্ঞাতব্য বলুন. You please tell me whatever I am meant to know. Anubhashya, তাপত্রয়, আধ্যাত্মিক, আধিভৌতিক ও আধিদৈবিক এই ত্রিবিধ দুঃখ. Adhyatmic tap. Okay, so tapatraya refers to sufferings due to due to oneself, due to other living beings, as well as due to nature. And then he explains each one. Adhyatmic tap dui prakar, sharirik jatha jor adi rog, manashik jatha priyadir biyog. So adhyatmic miseries are of two types. One is pertaining to the gross body, the other pertaining to the mind. The one pertaining to the body, such as fever, some disease such as fever. The one pertaining to the mind, such as being separated from some beloved person. Adhi bhautik tap chari prakar. Miseries caused by other living creatures is of four kinds. Jarayuja prani hoite tap, andaja prani hoite tap, swedaja prani hoite tap, udbhijja prani hoite tap. So these are four types of living creatures. Those which are born from an embryo, those which are born from an egg, those which are born from perspiration, and those which are born from seeds. So corresponding to this, there are miseries caused by these. All of this gives the impression that there is constant problem. Always somebody is giving us trouble. Adhi daivik tap, অর্থাৎ বরদাতা যেমন ইন্দ্রাদি হইতে উৎপন্ন তাপ. Adhidaivik miseries are those given by powerful beings such as Indra, who are capable of bestowing benedictions. Sheet, Vajrapatan ityadi, such as the ones who give cold, who throw a lightning bolt, etc. এবং অপদেবতা. What is অপদেবতা? These are bad. These are the bad guys. These are the superhuman creatures that give trouble. Jemon. Hingsha Shabhav Jaksha Pishachadi Hoite Ashubjanak Apad Bipat Patadi. Such as these violent superhuman beings, yakshas, pishachas, those who put us in various forms of dangers, calamities, fall downs that are inauspicious. Okay, where are we? We're almost done. Let me just read teachings of Lord Chaitanya and finish it up. Where?
Yeah, Lord Chaitanya was.
Whatever I am doing to become free from material attachment is all your mercy, Sanatan replied.
No, here Lord Chaitanya was very much pleased by his behavior, isn't it?
I'm in 51, first paragraph. Whatever I am doing to become free from material attachment is all your mercy, Sanatan replied. The Lord was very much pleased with him, and both of them discussed spiritual advancement. Previous to this meeting between Lord Chaitanya and Sanatan Goswami, the Lord met a householder devotee named Ramananda Rai. At that meeting, which is discussed in a later chapter, Lord Chaitanya asked Ramananda Rai questions, and Ramananda replied as if he were the teacher of the Lord. However, in this case, Sanatan put questions to the Lord, and the Lord answered them himself. The instructions and teachings of Lord Chaitanya are very important for people in general. He teaches the process of devotional service, which is the constitutional occupation of every living entity, for it is every man's duty to advance in spiritual science. Many subjects were thoroughly discussed in the talks between Lord Chaitanya and Sanatan Goswami. Due to the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Sanatan was able to put important questions before him, and these questions were replied to properly. By the meeting of Sanatan and Lord Chaitanya, we learned that in order to understand spiritual subject matters, one must approach a spiritual master like Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu and make submissive inquiries. It is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.34 that one should approach a man of authority and learn the science of spiritual life from him. Chapter 3, Teachings to Sanatan Goswami. From the instructions of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatan Goswami, we can understand the science of God as it relates to God's transcendental form, His opulences, and His devotional service. Indeed, everything is being explained to Sanatan Goswami by the Lord Himself. At that time, Sanatan fell at the feet of the Lord and with great humility asked about his own real identity. I am born of a lower family, Sanatan said. My associations are all abominable, and I am fallen, the most wretched of mankind. I was suffering in the dark well of material enjoyment, and I never knew the actual goal of my life. Indeed, I do not even know what is beneficial for me. Although I am what is known in the world as a great learned man, I am in fact so much of a fool that I myself even think that I am learned. You have accepted me as your servant, and you have delivered me from the entanglement of material life. Now please tell me what my duty is in this liberated state. Okay, we'll stop with that. I need a bookmark, another bookmark, to put in teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Okay, we'll stop with that. Anshakal Badurbesh ki paas and VH Badana Pavan and Vishnu, you know.
How do you manage this computer problem? He can sit on his computer. He has to come to his place. We are living on same floor. Capitalist, he wants you to. Wait. Oh, no, you're going to if I eat this, then I'll lose 100. One? Small. Spicy.
थोड़ा ज़्यादा जला दिया First half and second half, maybe 3 hours. I've already, yeah, now because of this, from 3 hours every day I'm giving 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes between this is 1 week I was not doing. I will try to complete within Kartik. I think it will not, because there is some.
Pointing out where some things are needed, some things are not needed. Usually is noting. So something which is set and you solve it. I cannot solve it. There are some complicated issues. You make a note.
One complication is that I am not taking in consideration, because from, like, there are several books. So same thing up, just like whatever is name. Mahaprabhu Sakshi Gopal. There some paragraph is there from, suppose, Chaitanya Bhagavat. Then again Chaitanya and not that. It is not like line by line is what you call superimposed. It is one paragraph from here, then again the next paragraph.
So what he has done
Like this is it.
copy paste.
I am only doing that.
Copy paste.
You can put this in your proper
You take it back.
You not required?
Because I want to use this what everybody is using.
I can keep it in my bag.
You go to my room that.
It's more confusion. Better than that.
What?
Because here is none of us have research in another page or somewhere. It's not.
Matter also that problem is everywhere. I think we should publish a proper many of them.